I'm so sorry, Bills Mafia. So sorry. I didn't hope I did not curse your team, but good God, what a fantastic performance out there by Josh Allen, showing that he is indeed the MVP of the NFL this season, and there is nobody else in this league right now, even Saquon Barkley, that can put up the kind of numbers that Josh Allen just put up in that game against the Rams in a losing effort. I'm sorry. Saquon Barkley, Offensive Player of the Year, sure. MVP, Josh Allen. There's no reason why anybody but Josh Allen wins the MVP. I mean, he was fantastic today. Again, over 300 passing yards, over 70 yards on the ground, three touchdowns on the ground, three touchdowns a year. First time in NFL history that a player has done that. He was on a roll, and yes, it wasn't a losing effort. And if it weren't for the defense for the Bills absolutely shitting their fucking pants today, the Bills would have won. And now with the Chiefs playing the Chargers tonight, all the Bills can hope for is that the Chargers beat them to at least keep within a game of the Chiefs in preparation for the number one overall seed. But even so, looking at what the Bills did tonight, if Josh Allen plays like that today in the playoffs, the Chiefs, even with the help of the refs, the NFL, and God, cannot beat the Chiefs. The Ravens, the Ravens defense is atrocious. And yes, Lamar Jackson has played out of his mind this year, but come on. There is a word from MVP, most valuable player. What is the team like without Lamar Jackson? They're probably still mid-level team. Without the For the Bills, without Josh Allen, they're not in the playoff race. They've already won their division. The Ravens might not even win theirs, and they still want to say Lamar Jackson is a better candidate for MVP than him. It's just retarded. It's absolutely stupid. But we're going to go over it today like we always do. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. Let's get to it. Well, like I was saying, Josh Allen was fantastic. There is no other word but to say phenomenal. He was absolutely phenomenal out there. Other than a few errant passes here and there, he was basically perfect. 115 passer rating, 3 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns, over 70 yards on the ground, and over 330 passing yards through the air. He was electric. Probably where the Bills went wrong today, other than the defense, was the rushing game. James Cook couldn't get anything going, and it doesn't really make sense because the Rams, for as well as their defense has played over the last couple of weeks, shouldn't be able to hold down a rushing attack like the Bills to that much. It doesn't make any sense. Should have tried to get the ball going more on the ground. Josh Allen didn't even have any interceptions. No turnovers were made on the Bills today. It's just their defense was utter BS. Terrible. And not to mention that, they lose to Ron Johnson. They lose. Russell Douglas got hurt as well. Hopefully they're able to return before the end of the season. But, man, their defense was absolutely putrid. I mean, their secondary is just coughing up fumes right now. Coughing their way to the playoffs right now. But still, even with only 3 losses in the league, the Bills are still the second best team in the AFC, and arguably they're a better team than the Chiefs. They just are. I'm sorry. The only big difference between the Chiefs and the Bills is that their defense is better. Josh Allen has played better than Mahomes this year. James Cook has arguably been a better running back than both Pacheco, yes, who has been out for the year, and Kareem Hunt. Their offensive line has been pretty darn good today, but it's just their defense. We couldn't stop anything. They just couldn't get anything done. Matthew Stafford was electric. Puka Nacua showing he's a future stud wide receiver in the league. And for me, if you have him in your fantasy league, you're going to have a lot of tough choices for keepers for next year. That is for sure. But, man, both teams just let her rip today. Absolutely let her rip today. I know things are going to be different in the playoffs because Bills aren't going to play in a nice, comfy dome like this. But, man, if it weren't for the defense, all the defense had to do was make one stop. One stop on 4th and 5. And they couldn't get it on. They give up an 11-yard pass to Tutu Atwell. Then they eventually give up a 19-yard touchdown to Puka Nacua, and even then it was over. But still, Josh Allen plays through. They get a touchdown, but then for some reason they don't field the ball at the end of the game with 0 seconds left. Like, why? Take the ball and at the very least fumble Ruski your way to maybe a touchdown. Or, yeah, how the Bills didn't recover the ball there and try and run the ball back is beyond me. Special teams wasn't really great today for the Bills. Really hasn't been the great thing for the Bills for most of the year. But, man, what a loss. I mean, what a way to lose. An absolute MVP effort by Josh Allen. He is my MVP for the NFL this year. There's nobody else. Don't bring it to me with Lamar Jackson, because I'm sorry. Lamar Jackson, or the Ravens are a great team, but they might not even win their division. Lamar Jackson, if you take him off the Ravens, are still a pretty decent team, all things considered, I think, other than Josh Allen. If Josh Allen is removed from this Bills team, they are not bottom tier, but they're close. They're probably 5-6 wins at best. The Ravens still probably make the playoffs even without Lamar Jackson. I truly believe that. I think they're just the way they're constructed, and with Derrick Henry still out there, they could just run the ball the whole time and they'd be fine. Just put in a mediocre quarterback in that position, and I bet they could still run that offense to maybe a 6th seed or maybe a 5th seed, something like that. But if you remove Josh Allen from the equation for the Bills, they're probably a top 10 team. It's just that much of a difference. That's how much of a difference a quarterback like Josh Allen has made to this team. He has done all the work. He has worked so hard to get to this point, and for him to lose out on the MVP this year would be sacrilege. It truly. Also, to get just the imagination of giving Lamar Jackson the MVP over over Josh Allen after a performance like the one that Josh Allen had today. Yes, it was a loss, but damn, Lamar Jackson hasn't had a performance like that this year. He certainly had his great share of performances, especially against the Bengals, but man, he hasn't had anything like what Josh Allen had today. Sure, they were down, so he did have to throw. But even then, the Rams, knowing that the Bills had to throw the ball to make it close, they still couldn't stop. They just could not stop him. Certainly helped on the last drive. There was an absolutely terrible defensive pass interference against the Rams. Unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable to allow something like that on 4th and 15. When it's 4th and 15, get away from the receiver. Don't even try to stop the ball. I mean, you still have to try and knock the ball away, but good God, when you get in that situation, the refs are looking for a reason to throw the penalty, and they got one. They absolutely got one, saving the Bills' chance to make it close. And man, I know they had to make that first timeout on the 2nd down play to stop the clock, to still have some time to try and score a touchdown, drop a decent game plan. But man, if they score a touchdown and go into the kick or into the next defensive position with the potential for an onside kick and 3 timeouts, the chances of them winning go drastically up, because I mean, the Rams would have, or like they did on the last drive, they played very vanilla, very predictable. A couple runs, right up the gut to run down the clock. Actually, if they had all 3 timeouts, they probably would have gotten a little more aggressive. But still, the Bills going in to the onside kick at a minute left with 3 timeouts would have been a much more arguable position than what they then going with 2. I know they had to do to set up the game plan so Josh Allen could get that final rushing touchdown of the day, but I don't know. I think they probably still could have drawn up a play on that 2nd-yard line to maybe get to with it like 50 seconds left. But it's neither here nor there. The Bills still lost, but 44-42. What a performance by Josh Allen in a losing effort. MVP performance. This game solidifies him as the MVP. They have a pretty easy schedule going down the line. Okay, they have the Lions next week, so they get to play in a dome again next week. And with how injured the Lions are, I know the Lions fans are going to come at me. I know you're going to come after me after this game. Oh, the Bills will host the Rams. Well, for sure they're not going to beat the Lions, but if the Lions are going to lose to any team this year, it's going to be the Bills. It's going to be next week in Detroit. Sure, Detroit has another 3 extra days to get ready for the Bills, but man, hopefully Teron Johnson is able to go. Hopefully Rasul Douglas is able to go next game because, man, what a battle of titans next week. Bills, Lions in Detroit. If the Bills win, they keep up with the Chiefs, assuming the Chiefs lose tonight against the Chargers. The Lions go down with 2 losses, and it would be essentially tied with the Vikings. Well, there would still technically be a half-game lead because of the Detroit Lions beating the Vikings early in the year. But, man, what a chance if the Bills go into Detroit with a chance to knock down the Lions, knock them off their high pedestal that their fans have put them on because they think they're the best team ever and that they think they just can't be beat by anyone, even though they will. The Lions are not winning the Super Bowl this year. Calling it right now. They're not. They are a great team. I know they're going to say, but our defense is great. Our defense is great. We beat the Packers with our hospital squad. Still, a lot of those guys that you lost aren't coming back this year. And yes, you could get a few more, but still, the Lions are still looking shaky. If the refs actually call penalties, the game might have actually ended different. But next week, Bills Lions is going to be huge. Bills absolutely have to win that game. Absolutely need to win this game. They need to beat the Lions next week. I think they have a really good shot to do it. Even with the Lions possibly seeing the return of certain players, the Bills are still looking strong, even though they lost to the Rams. MVP performance from Josh Allen notwithstanding, the defense just makes one stop. The defense makes one more stop. Bills win that game, and instead of being 9-3, they would be 10-2. Yeah. So, unfortunately, they win today. But, man, did they play their hearts out. And, like I said, if the defense just makes one stop, they're going. Or they probably win. But enough of the rambling aside. Let me know what you think down below. Again, Bills Mafia, I'm sorry if I cursed your team. I certainly didn't curse Josh Allen. I may have cursed your defense, but I certainly didn't curse your offense because your offense was on fire today. Josh Allen could barely miss, and he played to MVP standards today, and he is, in my mind, a lock for the MVP at the end of the year. Let me know what you think down below, and have a great day. And as always, go Pack Go. Most importantly, God bless.